So I'm going to talk to you guys today about privacy laws in your website. And I had a long talk with the owner of Termageddon, who I uh, partner with privacy laws on your website. And I've been with him for, I don't know, quite a while, years and years. I've been working with him, and he actually works with developers like me. And one of the things he told me is, in the very beginning when I met him, is it's my responsibility, mine as your website developer, to tell my clients about this, because I'm putting things on your website that make you culpable, that make you responsible for privacy. And privacy laws are really important today. So that's why I wanted to present this to you guys, because a lot of people aren't aware of that. A lot of real estate agents specifically, they think that I'm just a realtor, I just have a website, and it's, I don't need to worry about that. That doesn't really apply to me, but it does. So that's why I wanted to bring this topic to your guys' attention. I think it's very, very important, and it's my responsibility to tell my clients about it. You don't hear from me very often if you're from my client. I don't sell things to my clients. I don't try to, solicit you for stuff, but if something I feel is very important, I will contact you about it. And this is one of the biggest things that I always share with my clients. So, if you don't know who I am, I own Your Site Needs Me. There's 3 people on my team, all women. My daughter, Cheyenne, she's my senior website developer, went into website design, totally shocked the heck out of me, and got her website design degree. And my best friend, Lisa, who I talked about earlier with the Instagram thing, and she is my boss. I'll just tell you, she's my boss. She tells me what to do. She's amazing. And our team, we design WordPress websites for our real estate agents and other businesses as well. So these are the things we're going to cover today. What is a privacy policy? You probably already know the privacy laws that are out there, but why do I need one? What do cookies have to do with it? What is a cookie consent tool? What laws are in place now and what ones are coming? And some solutions. And I'm going to give you a chance to do questions to me. So let's dive in. I want to make sure you guys understand today that this is intended for informational purposes only. This is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer or attorney. And if you have further questions, I can direct you to that are in that nature. Then I can direct you to somebody that can answer legal questions for you. And this is what I was talking about before. As a professional website developer, I have a responsibility to tell you guys about this stuff and how it impacts your industry. So this is important to me. That's why I'm telling this to you guys. Okay, so privacy is really important. There's over 30 different privacy bills. There's many states that have privacy bills right now, or laws in effect, and over 30 privacy bills that are currently in place or in progress at any given point in time. I know there's 5 or 6 slated for 2025, and this is important. And you guys remember a few years ago, Facebook had a huge leak. Everybody freaked out because their personal information was exposed. And I mean, everybody's getting these notices. This company that you're affiliated with, they had a breach or a hacker, and your information got exposed. And that has been what has really instigated these privacy laws. That plus the GDPR over in Europe really instigated all these privacy laws where people want to know, what are you doing with my information? How are you protecting my information? And where is it going? Who are you selling it to? Who are you sharing it with? That's really what privacy laws are designed to protect. It's the consumer. It's not you, just so you know. So a few years ago, this was not a big deal. Today, this is a huge deal, huge. Privacy is also a matter of trust between you and the people that visit your website. So these are some stats that I feel are really important for you to understand, because think about it from your perspective. If you visit a website, if they have a privacy policy or they're asking for your consent, then you know they have a privacy policy. People are going to trust you more. So it is a very big deal for people to know that you have that in place, that you're protecting their information, and that you have a policy that shows them what you do with their information. Okay, so what is a privacy policy? This is going to be a document, or in your case, a page on your website, and it's going to tell people what data you collect, what do you do with that data, and Who do you share it with? PII is personally identifiable information, your name, your phone number, your email. If you have any sort of form on your website, if you have an account, if like my clients use IDX Broker, people have to create an account to save properties, right? That means you have to have a privacy policy. If you have a contact form on your website, you're collecting people's data. That is a privacy policy. That requires you to have a privacy policy. And this is going to say, what are you going to do with that data? So for instance, for people who have IDX Broker, you are saving their data inside IDX Broker, which is a third party. So you are sharing it with a third party. You're going to be telling them we save it forever or until something happens. We are sharing it with people like IDX Broker and my website developer because I can see that information. So I'm not using it, but I can see it. So that's important. And then are you selling it? Are you giving it to loan officers? Are you giving it to title companies? Are you giving my information to anybody that might be selling me a product or anything like that? Or are you not sharing it? So your privacy policy is going to say a lot of different things, but those are the main things that it's going to say. Okay, why do you need a privacy policy? It's the law. Absolutely, it is the law. If you do not have a privacy policy and I come to your website and I live in California and I fill out a form on your website, you're instantly culpable for $2,500, for instance. People are getting sued all over the place about this. It is a big deal. It's the law, and it's designed to protect the consumer, not you. So you need a privacy policy. These are examples of ways that your website may require you to have a privacy policy.
I mean, shit.
You are required if you have a contact form, a registration form, a lead generation form, a payment form. These are just 4 ways, and there are a lot more ways that can make you be required to have a privacy policy. So if you don't have one right now, we'll talk about how you can get one. But if you have any of these things, and then I'll show you a couple of more, you need a privacy policy. It is absolutely essential to protecting you from lawsuits, guys. Okay, cookies. You guys are seeing this everywhere. You're going to websites and you see a little pop-up. Please, accept that we have cookies, and click the button to say okay or accept them, or look at look at the different settings. You're going to see them on so many websites nowadays. If you haven't seen them yet, I would be shocked. This is even on my website, and you can see down here, this is my privacy setting. It also says we use third-party website tracking technologies to improve your experience on our website, and you can revoke them, you can save them, you can change them. That's my little one right down there. These are a couple of the other tools that are going to require you to have a privacy policy. Do you have Google Analytics on your website? You need a privacy policy. Tracking pixels, Google, Facebook, you need a privacy policy. And further about this is something I learned from Hans over at Termageddon the other day. When you're done, if you're not doing any ads on Facebook and Google and you have a tracking pixel on your website, but you're done with that ad, take it off. Take it off immediately. Take it off, because that, again, you can get in trouble if you don't have a privacy policy and you don't have something covering that. So chat, AI tools, and this one shocked me. I did not even know this. Videos. If you have a YouTube video embedded in your website, that is something that makes you culpable. That is one of the things that you need a privacy policy with, because that is also putting a cookie on the person's computer. And a cookie is a small file. It's stored in your browser and it tracks information about the visitor. So when they come back to your website, it remembers what they were. So if I go and sign into a website, like let's say I go to Amazon and I sign in, the next time I open my computer and I pull up in my browser and I go to Amazon, it remembers me and it's already signed me in. I'm already there. It knows me. It knows my history. It knows what I've shopped for. It brings up similar things that I've shopped for. It says you're returning. Keep shopping for this. We saw that you were looking at it before. That's a cookie. It's stored on your computer, not in the web or in the cloud, on your computer, on your browser. And the only way to get rid of that cookie is to clear your browser cache completely and clear your browser cookies. So that is going to require you, if you're using cookies, and these are the ways that you use cookies, and your site probably does, then you need a privacy policy. Okay, people are getting sued. Yeah, guys, it's happening every day. Hans told me yesterday the most common lawsuits that are coming across are $50,000 and $60,000. Those are the two numbers that he gets the most questions about and the most people coming to him about. 50,000, 60,000. So when I say 2,500 per violation per website visitor, the number that you are getting sued for is larger. It's a pretty big deal. I had a client in Indiana contact me for something, and his was actually about ADA, which is the accessibility, and it's another very important subject. And he had a big company in Jasper, Indiana, that got sued for like $100,000 for not being compliant for handicapped people. These are really important laws, guys. You can get sued. Don't think that because you're the little guy, nobody's going to notice you. It's not going to happen. It's happening for real estate agents all over the place. Google it. Real estate agents getting sued, privacy policies. You'll see it. And not just real estate agents, but everywhere. Which I think it skipped ahead. Let me make sure. Okay, nope. All right. So what laws are out there? This is the United States map. Everyone that is green has an active privacy policy now. Everyone that's light blue is in committee, and so on and so forth. So inactive bills are in these areas, and or no bills are in the gray areas. So you can
What
see
is blue?
the blue they're in progress. So these are basically the blue ones are in progress. Green have privacy laws. Gray, they have inactive bills or no bills introduced. But you can, they're all going to have bills sooner or later. It's unbelievable how many bills are getting introduced all the time about this. There's U.S. federal bills, and internationally, there's 162 countries with U.S. with laws. So you can get sued from somebody in Europe right now. And if you think I'm joking, GDPR, go look it up. I put sources on this. I will happily download this PDF and send this to you, and you guys can look at these sources and see what is out there and what the penalties are. So this is super important that you have a privacy policy. You can get sued. Okay. A lot of people are telling me this is my favorite one. I already have a privacy policy. Yeah, I looked at one of my a lawyer's website, and this one drives me nuts because he's a lawyer. And I'm like, I looked at his privacy policy on his website, and at the top it said privacy policy updated in 2020. And I thought, oh, you are so not compliant. 2020 is not compliant. There's been so many new laws introduced since 2020 that you're absolutely a open door to get sued. That's the problem. A lot of these people are having a privacy policy. They're going to a free privacy policy generator, or they're using one of those, quick and easy law like lawyer.com, Rocket Lawyer, and stuff like that to generate a privacy policy. The problem with that is that they're not updated. So if you have a privacy policy that you created today, and tomorrow Michigan's law goes into effect, well, then you're open to being sued from somebody in Michigan. You're maybe good for the rest of the states, but every state from that day forward that introduces a privacy law, you're open to it. So unless you keep that privacy policy continuously updated, you are not compliant. That's part of the problem here, guys. Big part of the problem. And when I looked up this information, I did look at the actual websites that had this information. This right here was actually a study that was done. And it was most people, 34% of websites had a privacy policy, but they were irrelevant, they were outdated, they had broken links, they had incorrect information. If you move, if you change companies, if you change your location, that actually affects your privacy policy. So there's a lot to it. Okay, here are some solutions. This is where we're going to get into some solutions. There's a lot out there. These are privacy policy generators, and these are some of the most popular. And I have seen them all in action. So I have lots of clients that have used these different solutions. And some of them are pretty good. and some of them are pretty up to date, but be careful what you're doing and what you're purchasing. So there's a lot of them. I would not recommend a free one. Some of these do have free versions, like I think Termly. One of the most popular ones is Termly, and it has a lot of free versions. It has a free version. Be really careful because it's only going to cover like a couple of the laws. It's not going to give you full coverage. It's not going to protect you fully, but people don't want to pay for these type of things. So it's something that, they go for the cheapest solution that is out there. And that isn't always the best solution, especially in this case, guys. Two things that I push really hard for every one of my clients are privacy policies and accessibility. They're really essential to protecting you if you're going to have a website. Privacy policy is going to be the biggest one that people are getting sued for. So my recommendation is actually Termageddon. And I have a partnership with them. If you know me, that does mean I get a small commission from each of mine, but I mean, we're talking like dollars, honestly. It's not important to me what my commission is to this. If you guys know me, then you know that I care about my clients. And I don't partner with anybody that I don't 1000% stand behind and know that that solution is the best that I could possibly get. And the reason why I partner with them, the reason why I partnered with Termageddon, my first thing that I talked to them about was I want a deal for my clients if I'm going to partner with you. If I'm going to recommend this, my clients get a discount, and you do. So you can use my name for a 10% discount. The reason why I chose Termageddon, it's attorney founded. So Donata and Hans are the owners. I talk to them all the time, and this company has gone like viral. It's huge. She actually, I want to say, go look at the about me for Donata. She actually just got asked to be on the board for, oh my gosh, I can't even remember what it was. A huge, like the world something. I'll have to go look it up. Hans told me last night about it, and I forgot already because I was working. But these guys keep their privacy up to date. I install it for you for free if you're my client. And even if you're not my client, if you have a website already and you want to do this, I'll install it for you for free. These guys keep their privacy policies up to date. We install a script on your website. So when the law changes and a new law gets introduced, Termageddon might send you an email and say, hey, there's a new law. Go log into your Termageddon account and answer a couple of questions. And you answer a couple of questions and hit save, and your website updates. So when the law changes, your privacy policy updates on your website. Most of my clients, I actually have a mass update. So if I already know I have, 100 clients on this and Massachusetts gets a law, I can go in there and mass update all of them, which I do every time if I can. If it's a question I can answer for you, then I will, which is mostly easy questions like, do you do business with 25,000 people or more in the state of Massachusetts? Well, most of my clients aren't in Massachusetts, so I can say no to that. This is the one that is, it covers more privacy laws than any other solutions. Not only do you get a privacy policy, guys, but you get the cookie consent. That is essential to protecting your website, that people are able to consent to cookies and they can edit their choices. So that little cookie consent that you see on my website, that was a couple of slides back, that is built into this. And it also covers the GDPR, the European. So in addition, you get a terms of service policy and you get a disclaimers policy, and it's cheap. It's $119 a year or $12 a month, and you get the discount with it. It literally is the best privacy policy generator that I could possibly recommend, and that's why I recommend it. These guys have the same type of morals and moral compass that I do, and that's who I do business with. So that's why I recommend them.